Hello, my name is Alberto Manguel, and I'm very honored to be asked to speak to the Turkish Publishers Association. I have a long relationship with Turkey, not only through its literature, but through many friends in Turkey and outside Turkey, and also a family relationship. I have a Turkish niece. So there are many reasons that tie me to Turkey. And as a reader, I must say that I discovered Turkey through its literature. A long time ago, in my adolescence, we read Turkish writers in Argentina. And I will talk about this in a moment. But first, I want to say that you publishers know that readers have a great advantage. Everyone in the world is suffering from this catastrophe of the coronavirus. But it is not the first catastrophe. The catastrophe of war, the catastrophe of different epidemics, political, economic catastrophes have been with us since the beginning of time. And we have developed an instrument to fight the catastrophes, which is the imagination. And readers above all, but of course in oral societies as well, we have developed the possibility of having experiences without having the tangible material experiences. It's an experience through words. Imagination allows us to be Hamlet, to be Little Red Riding Hood, to be Sinbad, to be one of Tampinar's heroes, and all this without moving from our chair. This is not to say that readers are inactive. Readers learn through books, but books force readers to face the world, to go out into the world, to do things in the world. The example of this, of course, is Don Quixote, who in his library discovers the ethic of how to fight injustice in the world, and then goes out and does it. This is very important at this time to realize that the obligation of confinement is an obligation that is with us, but only for a certain time. The first confinement that our literatures give us, which is perhaps Noah's Ark and the confinement in the Ark, did not last forever. At a certain point, the dove comes back with the olive branch and brings hope that things will be better. Of course, the catastrophes keep happening, but hopefully we will face them with the experience that we have already had. And this is true in all of literature, in all the characters that we find confined, like the Count of Monte Cristo to his prison, or confined like Sleeping Beauty in her crystal coffin, or confined to all the different situations in which writers put their heroes and heroines. It teaches us that there will be an outcome, that at a certain point, the dove will come back with the olive branch, that at a certain point, the prince will come and wake up Sleeping Beauty, that at a certain point, Robinson Crusoe will be rescued from his confinement. And perhaps learning from that confinement, we will face the world in better ways. This confinement teaches us that we are never alone if we are surrounded with books. Books don't replace human beings, but they allow us a dialogue across the centuries and across the seas with voices that didn't know us and with faces that we have never seen, but that engage in profound questions that are always with us. I said that in my adolescence in Argentina, we had many favorite writers, as adolescents will have, with this passion of the new reader. And in poetry, one of our favorites was Nassim Hikmet. Nassim Hikmet, who was introduced to us by Neruda and his enthusiasm for the Turkish poet. And we learned by heart one of his poems, and of course my memory is not what it was, so I will have to resort to reading it to you in an English translation. It's a poem that Nassim Hikmet wrote for somebody who has to go to prison, somebody who has to be confined. And he ends his poem with these words: "To think of roses and gardens inside is bad. To think of seas and mountains is good. Read and write without rest. And I also advise weaving and making mirrors. I mean, it's not that you can't pass 10 or 15 years inside and more. You can, as long as the jewel on the left side of your chest doesn't lose its sight." Thanks to the publishers, thanks to the writers, thanks to the readers, this on the left side of my chest will not lose its light.